putting your children first. It says in 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, it says, love suffers long and is kind. Love envies not. Love flaunts not itself and is not puffed up. Does not behave itself improperly. Seeks not its own. Is not easily provoked. Thinks no evil. Rejoices not in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. Bears all things. Believes all things. Hopes all things. And endures all things. Love is something that we should have, and as parents, is something that you should be putting in front of your kids just constantly, and putting your selfish needs backwards, your own needs backwards, and focusing on your kids. I always knew my mom loved me. I really did. I always knew she cared for me, but my mom made some mistakes, and if she was with me right now, she would tell you that she made mistakes. She went after a relationship after my dad left and went and lived with this one guy. Ended up being a horrible situation. I ended up living with my grandparents. My brother and sister moved into that house with her, and it just was not a good thing. I'll just be honest with you, the guy was a jerk. And he really was, and it was just a nasty, nasty situation. And my mom, in our devotional book that we wrote together, The Single Mom Journey, she said this, let me read this to you. It says, I have made my share of mistakes, and even after allowing God to be my all, there was a point when I took my eyes off of Him to pursue my own fleshly wants and desires. I got into a relationship with a man that was unhealthy for my children and myself. I had been looking for comfort from a man, and I felt as though I had just had to have someone. But after this huge mistake, I realized that I was completely wrong. You would think after being in such a bad situation with my husband that I would have known better. But when you take your eyes off of God and pursue your own wants and desires, you will fall. I fell, I admit it, and I regret it. This mistake of mine hurt my children, and even for a time, my relationship with my children. After some time, I finally realized that I was making a mistake and began to strive to repair what damage I had caused. This was a mistake, and I wish I could go back in time and fix what happened, but I cannot. Some things that all individuals put in front of their kids, and single moms are not excluded from this, is, other men. Put other men aside, It's okay to have a relationship, and if you need to, if God brings a healthy relationship into your life, and you believe this is what God has for you, but don't make that a selfish need in front of your kids. Don't put other men in front of your kids. Also, education. Don't put education and you get pursuing your degree or something like that, or even your work or your entrepreneurship or your job or your career, whatever it is. Don't put that in front of your kids. It's okay to pursue those things, but don't put them in front of your kids. Just like any other person, any mom or dad or guardian, don't put it in front of your kids. Hobbies. I see a lot of people with hobbies. Don't put those in front of your kids. Make sure, because your kids see these things. You see these things. So, practically speaking, since your children's father is gone, they need to know they have your undivided love and attention. They need to know it. They need to know that they have your undivided love and attention. They need to know that you're there for them. Does this mean you should never try to find a godly man to marry? No, that's not what I'm talking about. Does this mean you should never pursue an education or career? Absolutely not. This just means that you focus on your kids first. You put them ahead of your own needs. And when you do this, they're going to see that and they're going to succeed. You're going to help your kids succeed. If you want to see your kids succeed in life, put your kids before your career, but first put God first. It should be God, your kids, and then everything else after that.